in here. We'll try and figure it out. We are still live on Twitch and Facebook.
Strange, man. Twitch.
Huh. What happened to YouTube?
Reliable platform.
Well, maybe we'll restart. Oh, no, here we are. We're back on YouTube. We are back. We are on YouTube.
What
We have
the
restarted
heck
the
happened?
YouTube stream, and we are back now on YouTube. I don't know what happened. That's weird, right? That was a weird one. YouTube kind
I'm
of glitched
checking
out.
And
Aliens.
Aliens. George.
YouTube glitch. But there's the new link. We are back on YouTube. All right, guys. We're back. We're back. Something happened to YouTube. I don't know. YouTube glitched. YouTube glitched out.
Is that a first? Have you ever
No.
seen anything like that on YouTube?
Yeah. YouTube has issues.
have?
I mean, look, man, we're streaming on 3 different platforms. We're doing all sorts of things at once. Sometimes things glitch out. It's a matter of, technology, all sorts of weird stuff happening. But you know what? We are on right now. And I'm just going to tweet out the new link. We're going to talk about Lyoto Machida tonight. We're going to talk about Ryan Bader. We're going to talk about UFC Vegas 23. UFC Vegas 23 coming up this Saturday night. It's Kevin Holland, Marvin Vettori. Saturday afternoon, actually. Big news for Freddie. I know Freddie's super excited about this. We're going to give you winners here tonight. It is Ringside Report every Thursday, 8 p.m., live on the YouTube channel, on Twitch, on Facebook. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, click the bell when you get the subscription so you get notifications every time we're on. It's very good. It's, once you're subscribed, you might as well click the bell too.
Ooh,
Right?
Fancy, man.
Okay?
That's pretty fancy there.
We're on all the things. We're streaming all the time. We had some sort of YouTube glitch at the beginning of the show, but we are back. We are here to preview UFC Vegas 23. We are here to preview Bader versus Machida, Bellator 256. That show goes down tomorrow night. Nice Bellator card tomorrow night. And then UFC in the afternoon on Saturday. And then WrestleMania Saturday night. And then right after WrestleMania, you come watch us back here for the WrestleMania Night 1 post show. And then you're chilling out on Sunday, you relax, and then you watch WrestleMania again Sunday night, and then you're back here right after WrestleMania for the Night 2 Ringside Report Wrestling Uncensored WrestleMania post-show. Official, right?
Man, it's going to be a busy weekend, man. Crazy.
It's a
You don't have to
very
sleep at
busy
all.
weekend. It's a very busy weekend, and I was thinking about it this week. I'm on this channel 6 of 7 days this week.
Jesus.
Busy. Monday after Raw, I was solo. I was here last night with my man G-Mac and Johnny North, right? After Dynamite. Back out of here with the boys tonight. Tomorrow night, back on with Johnny North, 10 p.m. after SmackDown to preview WrestleMania. Saturday night, right after Mania for the Night 1 post show. Sunday night, again, like I said, Mania Night 2 post show. So, yeah, very busy this week on the Ringside Report Network. We appreciate you all joining us. We appreciate the loyal viewers, the loyal listeners of the Ringside Report Network. And we're going to keep producing a bunch of content for you. 6 of 7 days I'm on here this
Crazy,
week.
man.
And I love it. I love every minute
It's a
of it.
full-time job, man.
That's right. That's right. And I'm actually going to be doing a podcast with some guys. I'm going to be a guest on a
What?
podcast later on tonight, so I'm not even done.
Why don't you tell us this stuff? So
I'll
we
tell
can,
you later. We'll promo it when it comes out. I'll promo the podcast when it comes out.
You're not leaving the Ringside Report, are you?
Hell
Like,
no.
you're
Are
the-
you kidding? No.
Okay,
Don't worry.
I'm
I'm
just
just a
really
guest.
worried. They're
Ringside
like-
Report.
I am Ringside Report. How could I
Exactly.
leave?
But you never know if he decides to go to bigger and greener pastures. You never know. Maybe he's going to say, I'm on the podcast with Joe Rogan. It's all over for the boys.
Are you kidding? With Freddie and I here, there are no greener pastures than Ringside Report, if you know what I mean. Okay? We're the greenest of pastures, me and Freddie. Killing it.
And
Killing
what
the
about
game.
the rest of us?
You're good, too. I'm just saying, me and Freddie are more down
Well-
with the green. Anyways,
That's true.
we're talking about money. Skrilla. Which all right, guys.
Wow.
Lyoto Machida, Ryan Bader tomorrow night. I want to start with that. We're gonna get to the Vettori Holland fight in a minute here because that's a good one. That's an interesting matchup on Saturday. By the way, Fred, great news for you. The first prelim 11:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. The main prelim card, the TV prelim, start at noon, and the main card will start at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday afternoon. So, nicely timed UFC show, not going up against WrestleMania for me. I thought they were going to go head-to-head, and I was like, well, there's no way I'm watching this UFC card, but now I guess I'm going to be watching UFC and WWE all day. Should be a good time.
Awesome. What more can you ask for?
Sorry, go ahead, Fred.
It's going to be a fun day for you. You're going to be in front of the TV all day. Hopefully your kid watches it with you and you appreciate it. But you know what, man? Like, yeah, I like an afternoon card, but am I really going to tune in at 11 to watch Impa Kasangane and Sasha Palatnikov? I know I might, but I'm probably not going to watch that one.
If you got money on it, you will.
But I won't.
No, exactly. I don't know. There's a lot of these fights on the prelim card that I have no feel for. I wasn't really hyped for this card. It's not the most exciting of UFC cards on Saturday, but there are some fights that I'm looking forward to. And, you know.
Well, we got a Montrealer on the card, on the prelims.
That's it.
You know,
all right, let's start with that. We'll get to Bellator later. We'll get to Machida, and I'll fan out on Machida later on because I have a lot to say about Lyoto Machida and how awesome he is and how much I love him, right? So, what, you don't love Machida? What's the matter, AJ?
I love Machida. Dude,
he's going to lose. He's going to lose, but I love him.
That's the problem.
Yeah, of course.
I love everybody.
That's true.
Except for the guys that make us lose our parlay.
Well, Kevin Holland was saying that everybody was mad at him for his last fight because they bet on him and he lost, and that's why they were mad, which, you know, in my case was very true because I did bet on him and he screwed up my parlay, and I was like, come on, man, you should have won that fight. What's going on? And he did not win that fight. Instead, he opted to talk to Khabib, and when he was taken down by Derek Brunson, he opted to just kind of hold and hope that Herb Dean would stand them up instead of, you know, pushing away or working a guard or doing something other than just holding. You know, there was a lot of tactical maneuvers that Kevin was just not making in that fight, and I was a little confused at the strategy, and I'm not really convinced that he's figured it out yet. I'm not sure. I think he's an ultra-talented fighter, very powerful, very dangerous, could win this fight against Marvin Vettori if his head's into it, and I'm just not sure. Like, I'm not convinced that he wants to be the world champion. I think that he wants to be an entertaining UFC fighter who knocks people out sometimes, who talks a lot, who's like a charismatic guy. I don't know. Everything he says, like he talks about not wanting to work very hard, not wanting to put the work in, just wants to smoke blunts all day. And, you know, as a guy, you know, I can totally sympathize with that. I get that. But he's in the UFC, and, like, he's really good at fighting, and, like, if he were to try to work a little harder, he might be world champion. It's very possible. He's got all the physical attributes. He's 28 years old. He's got power. He's super dangerous. He's a very skilled fighter, but I'm not convinced that he loves it. I'm not convinced that he loves training, that loves the work, and, you know, if you don't love that stuff, it's hard to do it. It's hard to put yourself through it, and if you don't put yourself through it, you're not going to be a world champion. So, you know, I think Kevin Holland is super talented, but the last fight with Derek Brunson, which was on March 20th, by the way, this fight coming up is going to be on April 10th. It's not a long stretch. He's coming in, replacing Darren Till, 3 weeks, right? Darren Till got hurt. Vettori says he doesn't think Till's really hurt, but, you know, Darren Till got hurt. And, I mean, whatever, Vettori. I don't know what he's saying. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's not. I'm not here to speculate on that, but I am here to speculate on whether or not Marvin Vettori will beat Kevin Holland, because that's the fight at hand, and that's really the issue. And right now, Kevin Holland is a big underdog in this fight, and I think he deserves to be after the last performance, but I'm not sure he deserves to be such a big underdog. He's plus 240 right now at bet99.com. Marvin Vettori minus 312. And if you look at these guys, Kevin Holland is bigger. He's 6'3". Vettori is 6 feet tall. And Vettori isn't a guy who's going to do what Derek Brunson did. Vettori is not really a wrestler.
Well,
right?
He is.
Is he though?
No, yes, he is. He has a lot of submission wins. He has great wrestling skills. And the difference between him and Brunson, where Brunson wasn't getting sorry to jump in, but Brunson wasn't getting intimidated by Holland's talk show that was going on. It was basically a talk show, not even a fight.
Right.
And when he was on his back, there were times that Brunson probably could have closed him and won the fight, but he's not going to be able to do that to Vettori. Vettori is like a complete wild man. This guy is he's going to be going after Holland. He's going to bully Holland. This is a different fight. And Brunson stayed back, stayed calm, wasn't intimidated by the trash talk. And the thing with Holland, and it's funny that you're talking about, he has so much talent, and we saw a lot of potential in him. And on the same card, we got Mike Perry. And if you look at these two guys, they love to talk, they love to trash, they love to be the show. And you're right, Mike Perry, technically, with all the stuff he's done and his losses and his outside the cage fighting. And that's the thing with Holland. Holland had such a bad fight where most people are this guy will never fight again. But Holland doesn't get into it. He just had
into trouble outside of the cage, as far as I know.
No, but Freddie, think about it. He was the main event on a fight that was really the card was awesome.
Fighter, man. Let's not make
it
bigger than it is.
No, he didn't.
I'm
only
not
lost,
sure about that.
But he didn't perform. He didn't perform, and that's the thing. And not to perform.
Yeah.
No. Holland was just bad that night. He was just so bad that it didn't look like it was in the fight. When he was going into his corner, he was already saying that he was he tried to do everything he could to Brunson, and it wasn't going to work. He lost before even the next round started. And what I'm trying to get at is that we were talking about how bad he was, and here he is 3 weeks later, and he's got another shot.
Right.
How does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense because, A, he wanted the fight, and B, he's still one of the best middleweights in the world. And I think I agree with parts of what both of you guys are saying, but I disagree with parts. I think Kevin Holland in that fight was okay in the first round getting taken down because he expected to get taken down. And when he got taken down, he tried to fight off his back. And because he had success with knocking out one of the greatest in Jacare in his previous fight, he figured he was going to be able to knock out Derek Brunson with one of these punches off his back. The problem is, it's really not a good strategy. It's not a good strategy. It's super low percentage to do that. You're not going to hit it very often. It might work, but it usually won't. How many times watching UFC fights do you see a guy do what Kevin Holland did to Jacare? And because Kevin Holland did it to Jacare, I feel like he was okay with getting taken down in the first couple rounds, 3 rounds of that fight, because he knew he had 5 rounds, and he had time. He had time as long as every round gets reset on your feet. He had time to not get taken down and knock out Derek Brunson. And he almost did it a couple of times. The problem is he wasn't able to defend the takedowns, and he ran out of time. I think if those two guys fight without a time limit, without rounds, Kevin Holland wins. But that's not how MMA works, and that's not how that fight played out. I think Kevin Holland came in with a terrible strategy and ran out of time. And we've seen that a lot with guys like jiu-jitsu guys especially, where they're okay with getting taken down because they'll play off their back, they'll work the guard, they'll try to get a submission, but then they do it in the first round, it doesn't work. And then the second round, they try it again, and it still doesn't work. Whoa. Damn, that's loud. I don't know. It's super loud.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I know. It's loud, though. It's a little distracting. It's a like. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. What the hell was I talking about?
What?
Right.
No, you were
so
talking
in
about,
jiu-jitsu, and then in the second
round,
say you're a jiu-jitsu fighter and you get taken down in the first round, you try your submissions, it doesn't work. The second round, you get taken down again, and you're still trying it, and it doesn't work. In the third round, you've lost the first 2 rounds. If you don't get that submission in the third round, it's over. And it happens a lot in MMA. Guys and women, they come up with plan A, they go for it, and they don't have a plan B, they don't have a plan C, And that's really what Kevin Holland had. His plan A was knock him out standing up. His plan B was knock him out from my back. It's not a great plan B. And I think Kevin Holland learned from that experience, and I think he's going to come into this fight. I think it's going to be a very different fight. I really do. And I'm not sure he's going to win this fight, but I think he's going to take it a little bit more seriously. I think he's going to talk way less, and I think that Marvin Vettori is a much better matchup for him than Derek Brunson. Marvin Vettori is not the wrestling beast that Derek Brunson is. Did we just lose something?
Okay.
What is happening?
I don't know, man. I don't know. There's like some kind of like...
Is there a thing over me on the screen right now?
Yep.
There's some girl like smiling.
Can we get rid of this?
Man.
What's going on?
Did we just enter the blue nuit, man? Is it G-Mac that's putting
What
a joke
is
on
this? Hello?
Fans.
Why is there
is
something
crazy,
over
man.
my face right now, production team? Can we fix
She's
this?
better looking than you, Dave. I
don't even know what this is.
Whatever it is, man. She's
element.
like
Yeah,
really,
it just showed up, and now it's over my face. What happened?
This show is crazy.
We're
man.
getting rid of it.
This
I see them working on it right now. I'm just like, what? There we go.
Tell the producers
Fix,
to
please.
get her number. Get her number.
Fix,
And
please.
put a like on her page.
Fix, please.
Unbelievable. Maybe that's like the new like.
Legend, Dave.
I have no idea what this is. There we go. Finally. What happened?
Whatever it was really good, man. That was like that.
I want answers.
I thought that was probably a new member to the ringside. I want her on ringside.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a meeting after the show, so I figure out what the hell just went on there.
We're gonna trade G-Mac. We're gonna trade G-Mac for maybe that's one of his models for his T-shirt company.
Okay.
It's done, man. Listen,
Marvin Vettori
wait,
is not the fighter that Derek Brunson is. He's a different style. He's gonna be more willing to stand.
Yeah.
He's gonna be more willing to stand with Kevin Holland, and that's not gonna be good for Marvin Vettori. I really don't think it's gonna be good. Sure, he's a bully,
but that's what I said.
That's great. But Holland is bigger than him. He's rangier. He's 6'3" compared to Vettori.
Right.
Yeah, he's very big. He's very long.
But
I think it's a good matchup for Kevin Holland. It's a much better matchup than it was for Derek Brunson. And I think the line is, betting on Vettori because he's on a good win streak. He is very good. And Derek Brunson made Kevin Holland look pretty bad in the last fight. But you really had to pay attention to what was happening in that last fight. And that was a weird one. That might have been an anomaly. So I'm not convinced that was the real Kevin Holland. I'm not convinced that he's going to win this fight either. But I am not. I'm not betting on Marvin Vettori. If I'm going to give you my pick right now, AJ, I'm giving you Kevin Holland to win. Kevin Holland.
What? Dave, but like honestly speaking, like no offense, and you know me, I was on the bandwagon with the Holland thing. You got me going with this Holland thing, and I really believe in Holland. The only difference is that Brunson should have been a fighter that he could have. He's not fighting the Italian dream. You're right, Freddie. He's not fighting that Italian dream. And the thing is that it's going to be a nightmare for Holland. That's the difference. It's not going to be an Italian dream. It's going to be an Italian nightmare because Brunson is the fighter that he should have beat. Vettori is the guy that Holland, if he can't do what he does best to get into that pocket and really knock him, he's done because Vettori stays out of range. Or if Vettori gets into the clinch and keeps it tight, Holland is done. We saw his defense on his back. It wasn't great. Mind you, Brunson is a great wrestler, but not a good. He's not like he's a submission guy, but not like Vettori. Vettori's going to come in there and he's going to submit Holland. I'm telling you, if it does, listen, we've got a guy who's going to come in and he's going to come in to destroy Holland. He's a bully. And he can take a punch. There's one thing with Vettori as well as Holland. They've never been stopped, these two guys. But Vettori has a solid chin. And if Holland can't do what he does best and get into that pocket, he's done. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a much harder fight. I think I agree with the betting odds. Vettori on this fight. I think 3 weeks is not going to change his defensive expertise. He's going up against Vettori, who's a much better grappler by far, and definitely a much, I would say, more exchanging striker than Brunson was by far. So it'll be interesting.
Does he have the takedown skills, though, to use that grappling?
You're right. He doesn't have the takedown skills as
Nope.
Brunson. And what we saw with Holland, which was kind of interesting, is that he was the only guy that ever took Brunson to the canvas. So that was the only bright spot. Thank you to Khabib giving him advice. That was the only bright spot for Holland. Is that enough? It's done. It doesn't matter, Freddie, because if Vettori gets into that clinch position, that's where he's going to take him down. He's probably not going to do as good as Brunson could do with a single or a double on Holland. But you know what? The fight is going to end up on the ground. If it's not going to be a stoppage, it might be a decision. But I really think Vettori is going to stop this guy. There's no doubt about it. I think Holland is going to have like a hard 2021.
No doubt about it, says AJ. No doubt about it. What do you think, Fred?
I'm struggling to pick a winner here, and that just makes me say that these odds to me are a little bit off. I don't think like Marvin should be such a favorite because I do see ways for Kevin Holland to win this fight. But I do think Marvin is a better fighter out of the two. I like AJ says, he is a bully. I think physically he's pretty impressive still. Like he's built and he's strong. So I'm going to go with Vettori, probably going with a submission win. I'll believe in AJ's rant of Vettori getting that takedown. But these odds, like I would not bet on Vettori, minus 300 or something like that he is. Like I'm not touching that because that's that's way too much to give.
Minus 312.
Freddie, just let me give you one more fact. We've got like Vettori that's on, I believe, a 3-fight winning streak or maybe 4. But let's not forget, in 2018, he fought Israel Adesanya. He lost that fight, but he lost by split decision to Israel. And to be honest, his losses in his career have all been by decision. So Vettori, yeah, he didn't win it, but you know what? It was split, man. Some people thought Vettori won that fight, and that's against Israel. This is the difference. Vettori is on the run now, and Holland, man, if he can't back it up, even if he loses, let's say hypothetically, like Holland loses this fight. If he loses the way like Guida loses, people will respect him. So he has to, for sure he's going to go in there to try to win that fight. But even if he loses the fight, he has to lose good. If he loses bad like he did against Brunson, we're not going to see too much Holland in 2021 as he was a champ in 2020. So that's my 2 cents worth.
Yeah. I mean, you're very high on Marvin Vettori, AJ. You're very high on him. Fred is a little bit more measured. I think, this fight could be a coin toss. I think this fight could go either way. And I feel like Kevin Holland has a little bit more pop, a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more power in his shot. And he's much taller. So in a striking battle, which I think this is going to be, mostly a kickboxing match. I think Kevin Holland is going to have a big advantage here. I really do. I think he's going to win.
Well, Dave, with his reach at 81 inches, he should have that.
He's
that's
tall.
What I'm saying.
So why are you going against him?
He has all the tools. Because you know what? The way he performed 3 weeks ago is not enough time to come back. He's going to come in really to do everything he can to save that ego. Mm-hmm. And that's a bad way to fight in 3 weeks. Does it give him enough time to study Vettori? He's a very different fighter than Brunson. Does it give him enough time to train with guys like Vettori in 3 weeks? Maybe he's had, but not. Conditioning, I think his conditioning is going to be there. But if his mental game is not there, as we saw like in between rounds where he was like talking to his corner guys and already giving them like, I'm defeated. There's, what I'm saying? In 3 weeks, if he hasn't been on the Anthony Robbins program, it's not going to happen.
Derek Brunson will break you. Marvin Vettori will hit you hard and hurt you. It's a different type of thing.
He's going to bully him.
We'll see.
Bully him. That's the difference.
See. Well, AJ clearly going with the favorite Marvin Vettori. I'm going with the underdog. Tuga 121 says Izzy is on a different level for sure. Israel Adesanya says at his weight, no one is touching him for a long time. I agree 100%. Israel Adesanya at 185 pounds is the best in the world today, and I don't think that there is a 185er right now that is in the UFC that can beat him.
But like I said,
but don't forget, AJ. Let's not forget.
What?
I did pick Yan, and I was the only guy on Ringside Report picking the underdog world champion, Jan Blachowicz. Big Dave was right.
Cheap win, man. What a cheap win.
No, Fred picked him too. Fred picked Yan. Me and Fred picked Yan. Sorry. AJ, you were alone. You picked Israel, and you were wrong again, AJ.
You know,
Right, Fred?
it's okay,
You picked
man.
Yan. You were on my side no matter what.
Yeah.
Team Dave.
I picked Israel.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, it's gonna be a crazy year, man, in MMA. I can't wait, man. I just can't wait for all this. What a super chat!
Patrick C.
Wow,
Hamilton.
look at that.
Patrick C. Hamilton says, "Will this be the week that I bet your
777.
picks?" Thank you, Patrick. I don't know if this. I mean, whose picks are you gonna bet? My picks are AJ's picks. My
Well, if
picks
you
are
went with
AJ's
AJ's
picks.
on Stipe night, listen, if Dave, give me some props, man.
Yeah,
for the
you got
Stipe fight,
you got six
I got
fight parlay.
6 out of 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
and
like,
I went 2
you
for
went-
2.
Like, honestly, you know what? That's the only card that I didn't bet, and if I did, I would have really been a happy AJ. But you know what? Hopefully, like I know Anthony every once in a while, like Plesha, like he bets on my stuff. I hope he went with my 6 for 6 because it came out. That was a good
I
night,
hope
man.
so. That was a great night for you. That was tremendous. That was a good night for the whole Ringside Report team. You went 6 for 6 on your crazy parlay. I went 2 for 2 on my parlay. We all won money. It was a good night.
Yep,
it was a
yep,
good
it
night,
was a
and
good
we're
night.
going to keep
Listen,
winning. And you know what? I went back and I did some research. Now, these UFC fight nights, Johnny North told me something that was very smart, and Johnny's always smart. He always observes things that I don't. That's why Johnny's so great to have around. Like, he notices things that I don't, right? That's why he's great on the wrestling shows, because we see things differently. Johnny North told me one time, he said, "You're better on pay-per-views than you are on fight nights for picks."
Really?
And he's
Wow.
right.
I don't-
He's right.
Jesus.
And I looked back in 2021, I have picked 3 out of the 4 pay-per-view main events correctly. And those were not like easy, and I was not I was pretty much alone, I think, on some of them, right? So if we go back to UFC, what was the first UFC in January? What was the Conor fight? I picked that one wrong because I picked Conor because I'm stupid. We all pick Conor.
Well,
We're
no,
all
you
stupid.
weren't stupid. Listen, he started
I might
off
pick
good.
Conor
Let's
for
not
the
forget
rematch
that.
too, because I'm just a mark
Yes.
for Conor. So, hey, that doesn't count.
No.
UFC 258. I picked Usman to beat Burns, and I think you guys may have picked Burns. I know AJ picked Burns.
I picked
I
Burns
think
for
I have
sure.
this, man.
Yeah, you picked Burns. Fred had Usman. He's a smart man.
Yeah.
UFC 259. I took Yan to beat Israel, and I was the only one to do it. And then UFC 260. I took Francis to beat Stipe. And so did AJ, but Fred didn't. So I've been like pretty dead on 3 in a row now pay-per-views. So look out, because I'm telling you right now, UFC 261, Kamaru Usman is beating Jorge Masvidal. Like, lock that shit in. He's a massive favorite, though. It won't be worth anything. That's a fucking slam dunk.
But
You know?
I got to give you something. You're right with
But
Johnny. Johnny
pay-per-views.
comes up with these things, man.
He's got theories,
He
and they come
analyzes
through.
everything.
Yeah.
He's-
So
I'm
pay-per-views,
telling you,
I'm
man.
really good. Fight nights, Johnny says I'm so, but I think I'm all right. So I'm
But
going
wait,
with
wait.
I'm going with Kevin
Actually-
Holland in the main event.
Actually, you have something else where
What
Johnny
happened to-
forgot to
Camera fell.
mention is
Oh,
what happened, Freddie? What happened, man?
everything was
My
like
camera
What are you doing? A
fell.
Manscaped commercial? Is
Oh,
you're
my
doing
goodness.
Manscaped? Listen, I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna say what Johnny forgot to mention, Dave, is that you're really good at picking prelim women fights. You tend to be on the mark when you're going with a 2-fight parlay and you put in like a sure pick on the prelims. So that's something to look forward to, because I've done some of your picks and they've come out.
Well, there you go. We got the good picks, you know? We're bringing it. There's my man, Jeremy Barnoff, a.k.a. Jeremy Prophet, a.k.a. Black
Jeremy!
Dynamite, professional
What a
wrestler
wrestler, man.
extraordinaire, one of the best wrestlers in the world, top 5 in Canada.
Nice guy too, man.
Jeremy
We had him
Prophet
on one
says,
time, remember?
more often than not, my picks are in line with yours, Dave. That's right, Jeremy, my man.
Except for the cat. I think he's like, I don't know if it's
His
Jeremy
cat
that
is
has a
really
cat.
good, too. I think it might be his girlfriend's
his
cat. I
cat-
don't know. His
I don't
cat
know,
is
the
good,
cat
too.
is pretty. His cat is good, and the cat went with the AJ picks, if I'm not mistaken, and we beat you guys. So sorry, Jeremy. Sorry, Dave. The cat and I won on
And
the
I'm
Stipe
seeing
fight.
I'm seeing a debate going on in our chat, which I always love, between Tuga 121 and Bon Kiki.
What's happening?
Tuga says Bon Kiki goes, I got Dustin Poirier winning the second fight with Conor. And then Tuga goes, wait. There is no doubt Conor's going to KO him again. He needs to protect his leg and it's over. So people are hyped about this fight. Already in the chat, people are like, whoa. People have strong opinions on the rematch. That's going to be a good one. I am leaning towards Conor right now. I don't know why. I am. Where you guys? How do you guys feel?
Social media is pretty much him on vacation.
I know.
Right now, like I see a bunch of pictures with his kids and things like that. Like, that doesn't look like a guy that's putting in the hours at the gym. But hey, it might be just to fool you.
Yeah. Who
it is with
who are you
Conor,
picking,
man.
Fred?
I got Dustin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dustin.
This is a smart pick. You make smart, measured picks. Like you're not gonna go for the wild hype. And I get it, but there's something about Conor. Like, he could very much knock him out, but I don't. I feel like Dustin
Conor
is a smart pick.
Back.
Conor is the pick to go for. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But every time Conor comes back from a defeat, he comes back more or less to win. I mean, this guy, most of the time he wins. Let's put it this way. He comes back, he studies the opponent. Look, he beat Dustin the first time they fought. He lost the second time. Conor's coming back to win that third fight, in my opinion. Why? Because he fought well the second fight against Dustin. He was doing really well, won that first round. Everybody thought Conor was going to win, except that leg kick. Getting on the inside of that calf kick, where Conor was in a boxing stance, for whatever reason, I don't know. He probably forgot he was in MMA for those 2 minutes and thought he was in a boxing ring with Mayweather. Because his stance wasn't his typical karate stance where he's able to cushion those kicks or be able to check those kicks. He was taking it straight on a calf. Listen, man, if I kick you in the calf 3-4 times, I can assure you're not going to walk.
Yeah, AJ, I understand what Conor did wrong.
Made a mental mistake.
I'm not sure he's going to fix it.
Oh, he'll fix it all right. Just like he fixed Proper 12 to be $1 billion alcohol.
It's not that easy.
No, product. Conor knows the game. One thing about Conor is he's a master chess player. Everybody could lose. We've seen everybody lose. We always talk about it. Georgia's lost. We saw Tyson lose. We saw Muhammad Ali lose. We saw technically John Jones lose.
Even the great Jake Paul, or I guess he's never lost. Logan Paul has lost. So even Logan.
When's that fight happening, by the way? Is that coming up soon?
Logan or Jake? Jake is
the one
next week.
Ben Askren.
Baby, it's next week.
We're doing a watch-along.
Hell yeah. Are you kidding me? It's going to be great.
That's going to be crazy,
dude,
man.
Jake Paul, Ben Askren is a week from Saturday. A week from Saturday. This weekend is Mania. Next weekend is Paul Askren Mania. Like, what? It's a week away. Whew.
It's crazy, man.
I'm hyped for that. I'm more hyped for that than WrestleMania. I am. I mean,
You're
Mania.
You're going to see Snoop Dogg. You're going to see Justin Bieber. You're going to see all these crazy actions between. And I
will tell you, Logan Paul will be at WrestleMania.
What?
Yes. He was on SmackDown last week with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and he's going to be ringside, I think in Sami's corner, technically, for the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match at WrestleMania. Two Quebec guys going one-on-one at Mania. And, Logan Paul is involved in this, and he's going to be at Mania. He was on SmackDown last week, and it was like, I mean, I thought Sami was pretty funny there. I liked it. It was a funny segment. Sami dancing was pretty good. He's got some nice moves. But Logan Paul is like at Mania. So these guys are everywhere. Like in my world at this point, I can't escape them. Like I'm talking about fights. I'm talking about Jake Paul. I'm talking about UFC or, WWE, and there's Logan Paul. He's on SmackDown. Like they're everywhere, these guys. They are everywhere. They're the biggest stars in the world. Them and Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny,
that guy's awesome.
I'm not crazy about Bad Bunny. But listen, what's interesting is that when you look at the Jake Paul and Logan Paul, I mean, I always go back to when I first remember texting you and being like, Dave, my nephew called me and says the best boxer in the world is fighting tonight. Yes. And I'm like, who the hell is fighting? Who is it? Like Mayweather wasn't fighting. It wasn't like it wasn't Triple G. I'm like, who the hell was it, man? I'm like, it didn't make sense. Is it Tyson back? The best boxer. He goes, yeah, it's Jake Paul. I'm like, who the hell is that Jake Paul, man? I don't know no Jake Paul in boxing. And then I checked it up on YouTube, that this fight was going, and I think at that point it was like at 800,000 subscribers. And I'm like, Dave, you got to check this shit out because something is not right. These guys are charging $20 to come into YouTube, and by the time you got on, it was already at 2.2 million subscribers at $20, and they had a 30,000 seat capacity arena, like sold out. And it was between this, whatever, Jake Paul or Logan Paul versus like the other YouTuber. And I'm like, this is going to change sports. And I told you that from way back. I said, this is going to change the face of sports. And here we are now in WrestleMania, in MMA, and it's like a hype thing. Like, it's crazy, man. YouTubers, man. That's where the money is.
That's right. And your sister, Tanya D'Alessio, says your nephew is the smartest kid in the world. Just saying. Shout out to Tanya.
Nikki was right.
Shout out to Nikki.
I told Nikki, I'm like, Nikki, no. Nikki was right, man. And
Nikki's
I was like,
smart.
nah, Nikki, you don't know what you're talking about. There's no boxer. They're like the best boxer in the world.
Nikki,
he's the smartest boxer probably in the world, but not
Nikki's
the best.
helping the show. He's like keeping us cool. Nikki's telling AJ things, and then AJ's telling us, and we're like, oh yeah, who's this guy? And now he's all over the place.
Listen, I didn't even know who Logan Paul was, and then I sent a text to Logan Paul, and it went to Paul Logan by mistake.
You sent a text to Paul Logan. You didn't send a text to Logan Paul.
No, I sent it to Paul Logan, and Paul Logan goes, hey, man, wrong guy. and then so some Hollywood actor wrote back to me like he was all pissed. But then we became friends, and now he follows our show. He's a good man, Paul Logan.
We love you, Paul.
Paul Logan loves our show, man. He was in Sharknado. He has a new movie that came out. And in fact, I'm going to tell you something with Paul Logan, Dave. He was doing a lot of bodybuilding. But because of our show, he's been doing jiu-jitsu now. He's been doing Muay Thai. He's been doing mixed martial arts.
Because of our show?
Yeah, man. He started doing all martial arts, this guy. And he has a new movie where he does all kinds of crazy martial arts shit. The guy, and he looks great, man. He's in solid shape. So check out Paul Logan. And I made a mistake, so we all became friends.
I love it. I love it. We should have him on the show if he's really been influenced by the show. If he's been influenced by the show so much that he is taking up jiu-jitsu and stuff, and he's like a famous actor, I mean,
listen, go to his Instagram. You'll see him working out. He's like awesome, man. He looks in great shape. I think his goal is to be the next Batman. I think that's what his goal is in acting.
Wow.
And you know what? I think he would make it. Listen, man, when you see him, you're going to be like, yeah, that guy's a
yeah,
Batman.
But AJ usually, yeah, exactly. From Sharknado to Batman, usually actors that play Batman are people that you've heard of, you know?
Yeah, dude,
Christian
like,
Bale. Didn't Ben Affleck play Batman? Who was the last Batman?
That was a bad Batman. Come on, man.
Michael
You
Keaton.
had Michael Keane.
Val Kilmer. Michael Keaton.
Val Kilmer wasn't bad.
Yeah. Who was the last Batman? Like in the last Batman movie that they put out, who was Batman? Was it Ben Affleck? Did he end Batman, or was it Christian Bale? I don't know.
I don't know. The last one was like a Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, but I don't think there was any Batman in that one. It was just a Joker.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I like that one. That Joker movie was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Bon Kiki wants to know if AJ is a Crip. Is he because he's wearing all blue all the time? And I can assure you, that AJ is no Crip. He is no Crip. I've seen him wear all red tracksuits as well, so he is not.
Listen,
a Crip.
I dressed up as Tupac one time. Remember that? I did dress up as Tupac once. So
Tupac,
I don't know if that counts.
No, because Tupac was associated with Suge Knight, who was associated with the mob Pyru Blood Gang. So that's not Crip, that's Bloods.
Okay, so I'll dress up in red next week, man, and I'll Tupac. That was a good.
I know a surprising amount about Suge Knight, Death Row, Tupac, and Los Angeles gang culture. All right, I have many interests other than mixed martial arts and professional wrestling. I could do shows on gangsters. I could do shows on a lot of different things, but I like wrestling and MMA
Biggie,
more than everything.
That's one thing.
Yeah, I got you on Biggie. I lent you Ready to Die that you'd never heard of in like 2018. I was like, here you go, AJ. This is a very good album. You might like this. And you did, which is nice.
I did, man, and I watched the movie, the documentary on Biggie and everything, man. That guy was cool, man. Biggie was cool.
Of course.
Man.
Big Papa?
Too bad he went down too young.
Biggie was cool.
What a cool guy,
shit,
man.
Biggie was cool. Like, I mean, yeah, he was cool. He's so cool.
And I thought Vanilla Ice
one of the coolest
cool,
guys.
No, Biggie is way cooler.
Biggie's one of the coolest guys that ever walked the earth. Like, he just pulled it off, man. You know, his fashion, he was so stylish, and he was a big dude, and he pulled off this, high fashion. He looks so good, man. Biggie was so cool.
He did look good, man.
Biggie's one of the coolest guys to ever live, man. Always loved Big Papa. Rest in peace. I love Biggie.
And you know what's the funny? And listen,
all right,
when
Fred
you think about it,
wants to talk about MMA.
Let me just say one thing. Let me just finish with one thing. It's funny that I had an opportunity to do jiu-jitsu with Maximilian, and Maximilian was in that crew with like all those guys, and I didn't even know, man. Max was a cool guy, but who would have known?
As far as I know, Maximilian was a music group with 3 people in it.
Maximilian, no, that was like the group, but Maximilian is the actual guy, Max. What a cool guy that.
I don't know who you're talking about. I have no idea.
Man.
No.
Was anybody named Max in that group?
In Maximilian? No. Maximilian was an American music group with Lisa B, Duran Estevez, and Tommy with 2 M's and a Y-E from Chicago. I doubt you did jiu-jitsu with these people.
I did. In fact, I was invited to his 50th birthday party. No, to Maximilian, man.
But Maximilian is 3 people.
No, Maximilian is one guy. It's Max.
Well, not according to Google. Me. Well, you find me their songs and I will listen to them.
I have a picture. I have a picture with him on Instagram. But anyways, he's a cool,
UFC
cool guy,
on ABC coming up this Saturday
with a little KFC.
This Saturday afternoon, UFC on ABC. Kevin Holland, Marvin Vettori is the main event. Co-main event is Arnold Allen versus Sodique Yusuf. It's an interesting fight. Arnold Allen, I know he's done a lot of training here in Montreal over at TriStar. He's from England. I don't know if he's been able to come back here to Montreal to train or what his deal is, but I know he's done a lot of training here with some local guys. So I know a lot of guys here in Montreal, a lot of local fighters will be rooting for Arnold Allen coming up on Saturday afternoon. Big spot for him in a co-main event. This guy is riding 8-fight win streak. Pretty impressive. Undefeated in the UFC. This guy's quietly been building quite a resume for himself. Gilbert Melendez, Nick Lentz beat him in his last fight. A lot of decisions, but he's been consistent, this guy. Arnold Allen now taking on Sodique Yusuf, who's 11-1 as a pro, also undefeated in the UFC, a Dana White Contender Series guy. He has won 6 in a row now as a pro. Also a very tough fighter.
6 out of 11 fights. Dave, 6 out of 11 fights by knockout. Let's not forget. So it's not going to be just an easy fight for Allen.
He is minus 145. The favorite is Sodique Yusuf. Arnold Billy Allen plus 118 the underdog. Interesting. I don't know.
Look, man,
guys haven't fought
it's close,
in over a year.
Yeah, Arnold's last fight was last January, and same for Sodique. Yeah, I don't know. I think Arnold Allen's going to pose some interesting problems to Sodique that he might not have seen before. Allen is a very good grappler. You know, he's a good wrestler.
Good fight IQ.
But Sodique coming out of Team Lloyd Irvin. Sodique, he's from Nigeria, but he trains out of the Lloyd Irvin school, apparently, which is good jiu-jitsu. But I don't know. I think Arnold Allen's going to be a tough test for him. Should be a good fight. I'd go with the underdog, Arnold Allen, plus 118.
Interesting that he's out of Lloyd Irvin, so there's a little bit
of
rivalry
him by decision.
Lloyd Irvin and TriStar.
I think he.
What did you think?
Arnold Allen by decision. He's the underdog plus 118. I think Arnold just guts it out. I think he lands a couple key takedowns in the fight that pushes him forward and gets him the win.
I think you're right, Dave, on this one. I'm going to go with the same thing. I was going to go with decision as well for Allen.
Interesting. Freddie?
Do I have to pick, really? I don't know, man.
No, don't pick.
My decision.
Don't pick, because then Fred will put, Fred. AJ will put your picks out like it's a parlay and tell people to bet on Fred's picks. So, don't even bet. Don't even do it, you know? This is what Fred told you to bet on, even though he didn't, you know? Don't do that. Don't do that. And, of course, AJ, it wouldn't be a Dave parlay without another women's fight, an underdog pick. I love going with the women underdogs in the UFC. I think there's always value there. For some reason, odds makers can't figure out women's MMA, and there's a lot of options.
You're going against Mackenzie?
No, I'm going with Mackenzie, my friend.
She's the
You're
underdog?
going with Mackenzie?
Yes. She's
Now
the
you're
underdog.
talking, Dave.
Mackenzie Dern is the underdog, a slight underdog, plus 115. Nina Ansaroff, minus 141, the favorite. Nina Ansaroff, I think, is coming off pregnancy, right? She was...
Labor.
Yeah, she's coming off pregnancy with Amanda Nunes' baby.
Yes, she's coming off a pregnancy, has not fought since June of 2019, 35 years of age, 5'5", a solid fighter with a Taekwondo background. But Mackenzie Dern is 28 years old, coming up in the world, one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters in the UFC, has some 6 submissions, super dangerous, and I feel like she has a really good shot of winning this fight here. I'm going to go with Mackenzie Dern. Decision maybe, submission maybe, but I think she wins this fight. I think this is Mackenzie's time. I think Nina is a little bit... I don't know. I don't think she's going to be able to match strength with Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie's super strong, super athletic.
Well,
and I know, AJ, you're going to love it because you love Mackenzie Dern. You're her #1 fan. You always talk about that time you spent in the sauna with her father, not with her, with her father, and you loved him.
Did you say with her?
No, with her father, not with her. I'm specifying. I'm being sure because you're gross.
No, because we did the math, and I don't think you want us to go back there, man.
Yes, that's right. We didn't want to go back there and the numbers and all that. So I like Mackenzie Dern, and I know, AJ, you do too, 100%, right? So I'm going to go with Mackenzie Dern with another underdog pick. I like a lot of dogs here on this UFC card coming up on Saturday afternoon. AJ, now you can fan out about Mackenzie Dern. Go ahead.
No, it's not that. It's just like if you look at Mackenzie Dern, when she had her baby and she came back in for her first fight, she lost. Asaroff is coming back for her first fight after having a baby.
Don't say it.
Don't know she's going to be cornered by Amanda
Don't say what you're
Nunes.
trying to say. I don't think that's right.
What?
You're saying
that's what happened.
It's hard to come back after having a baby. We've seen fighters come back after having a baby and be victorious.
I
think Alexis Davis won her first fight after having a baby.
Did she? Okay,
yeah.
So I could be wrong here, but I'm just looking at.
You are, and I think what you're saying is wrong.
Have you had?
Yeah, exactly,
okay.
AJ.
What I'm just trying to get statistically is that right now Mackenzie Dern is on a 3-fight winning streak. 2 out of those 3 fights have been won by submission. You're going up against one of the best female jiu-jitsu fighters in MMA, and not to take away from Asaroff because her striking is phenomenal. There's she's a great fighter. She has great coaching and she has a great corner. But the thing is that Mackenzie Dern, her striking is not the best striking. We all know that. But let me tell you, man, her striking has improved a lot. And her last 3 fights, we've seen her throw bombs, man, and her kicking was good. She's starting to become more well-rounded. But if it's going to get to the ground, we know what's going to happen. So if you want to bet on any money, in my opinion, go with Mackenzie Dern by submission, and I think that's what's going to happen tonight on Saturday night.
Juliana Pena,
whatever you want to call
Juliana Pena lost to Valentina Shevchenko in January 2017, then got pregnant, took some time off from the sport, came back in July 2019 to beat the former champion Nico Montano. So your logic doesn't check out, and I reject your hypothesis, AJ. And
what are you talking about? I just said she has a 3-fight winning streak. What are you talking about?
Who? Nina Ansaroff?
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking
Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, Mackenzie Dern.
So can I say that I'm surprised that she's
go ahead.
A favorite considering that she gave birth 6-7 months ago? I'm just surprised.
Was it really that?
I'm not saying she. Well, September. What is it? October, November, December. Yeah, 7 months ago.
Oh, that's really soon, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I think taking
I think it is.
I feel like taking more time. I don't know. I've been around a woman who's been pregnant and then not, afterwards, and it's it takes a while to recover from that. But then again, the woman that I saw with a baby is not a professional UFC fighter. These people are, they're better than us. They're super athletes. Nina Nunes, not Nina Ansaroff anymore, by the way. I think she goes by Nina Nunes now. And I feel like maybe that's why she's favored. I honestly think that's why she's favored, because she is married to the greatest women's fighter on the planet, and people figure that rubs off. But, it doesn't necessarily, and I feel like Mackenzie Dern is a beast, and I feel like she's going to win. And I think, the pregnancy has nothing to do with it. I really don't think that it comes into play at all.
Well, I got Mackenzie.
Well, we'll see.
Winning.
Yeah.
All right. We all have Mackenzie Dern winning.
Thug Rose is the strongest.
Thug Rose is pretty tough.
Mackenzie Dern, Freddie. Freddie's going with Mackenzie?
I'm going with Mackenzie.
Let me write this down.
So
Freddie's going with Asarov.
Yeah, I'm going.
Let me just write this. With Asarov, no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a kidney stone a couple of months ago, and I had a doctor tell me that some people say it's worse than childbirth. And look, it's less than 7 months, and I'm back. I'm ready. So why wouldn't she be ready?
That's right. Exactly.
Just saying.
Exactly. I agree. And you're not a pro UFC fighter, right? You haven't fought anybody tough. Not like Nina has.
Exactly.
Nina's fought some real savages. She beat Claudia Gadelia. That's pretty tough. Randa Marcos, Angela Hill. She's got some big wins.
Mackenzie Dern has beat Marcos. I mean, no, they fought.
No, I think Mackenzie's going to win, AJ. I mean, we're good, AJ. I agree with you. So,
okay. I just want to make sure they're Dave.
Don't worry about it. We got Sam Alvey taking on Julian Marquez on this card. We got Mike Perry taking on Daniel Rodriguez. Is Mike Perry the underdog or the favorite here? As the underdog. Should be about right. I'm going with Rodriguez. Other fights on this card I'm interested in.
Over Mike Perry?
Yeah, I don't like Mike Perry.
Dave.
I got to go with my man John the Bull McDessie taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. Going to be taking a good look at that one. John McDessie from Laval, Quebec. Shout out to John. And there you go. Bet99.com.
He's still training out of Rufus, no?
Yeah, he is in Milwaukee. Use that promo code Ringside. Take advantage of that matching deposit of up to $600 over at Bet99.com. And if you want, I could show you my parlay here over at Bet99.com, which is kind of fun. Dave's parlay this week will score some crazy money if it comes through, which we're hoping it does. Dave's parlay right now. There we go. So I've got Kevin Holland at plus 240, Arnold Allen at plus 118, and Mackenzie Dern at plus 115. You put 20 on that, and you win back $318.71 over at Bet99.com. That's Dave's parlay for the weekend.
Bet99, man. You know what? I sent you something. They're on the top 5 sites for betting.
Okay.
Bet99.com, man. They're awesome.
What's your parlay, AJ? You've got, Vittori, Arnold Allen, and Mackenzie Dern?
Mackenzie Dern, and I'm going with Mike Perry.
What's the matter, Fred? You're not seeing all the fights? I'm seeing all the fights over at Bet99.com.
I only see 7.
Well, tell me which fights you want to pick, and I will make the parlay for you, and I'll put it on the screen. AJ, your parlay is what? Vittori, Allen, and Dern?
Vittori,
you want to throw more
Allen,
on there?
I'm going with Sam Alvey. I like Smiling Sam. He definitely comes out, and I think, listen, he's been on a bad losing streak. I think he might do it. Mackenzie Dern and Mike Perry. I'm going with 5 fights. Is it 5?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going with the main card with those 5 picks.
Wow. The whole main card, a 5-fight parlay from AJ. Let's take a look at AJ's parlay here. It's a big one. Look at that. Plus 115, Mackenzie Dern. Minus 312, Marvin Vittori. Plus 118, Arnold Allen. Plus 155, Sam Alvey. Plus 128, Mike Perry. $20 gets you $719.40 if you win with Team AJ coming up Saturday afternoon.
The price is right, man. The price is right.
There's my man Jeremy Barnoff. He says he's going with Dern, Allen, and Perry. He thinks he's going to see a lot of upsets on Saturday. I think so, too. I think we see some upsets.
Going with my picks. He's going with my picks.
Bon Kiki says he's going with the black brother, Mike Perry. Hope he wins, too. I don't think he's black. I just think he uses the N-word. You know, I don't think he's a.
He says he's part black.
Does he? I
like
thought he was a white
1%
guy.
or something.
Yeah.
1%?
No, he does, actually.
Well, that's.
according to him, like he did
he did ancestry DNA, I think.
There, ancestry.
Okay, well, if
yeah,
you're
1%,
DNA,
that's
it
what
came back and it told him he was like 3%.
Oh, good. Well, that doesn't mean anything because, I mean, if I did one of those ancestries, 1% doesn't mean anything. Fred, let me ask you a question. Am I Vietnamese?
According to you.
No, I'm not. My great-grandmother was Vietnamese, so if you did my ancestry, there's like a pretty good percentage of me that's Vietnamese, but like, I'm not Vietnamese. Maybe I'm 1% black as well. Does that mean I can use the N-word? I don't think so. I don't know about that. Mike Perry seems a little... I would not use it. I'm going to do an I don't think I'm 1%...
No.
I mean, what is...
I want to do an ancestry.
Who knows?
We should all do one.
I have it, Freddie. Freddie, I got it in my room right now.
He's Iranian, and he found out that he has 3% Ashkenazi Jew in him.
And he was
from Iran.
Happy about it?
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't know about it.
All right, good.
Well, Freddie, actually, in my bedroom, I actually have the kit. I'm supposed to be doing it this week.
You'll find some surprise, man.
Well, listen, I'm going to do the kit this week, and I'm going to bring out the results on air, man. Because
it's still
I'm thinking I'm like 100%
You are not
Italian.
the father.
That was the first test, but apparently I am.
Bon Kiki says that I can have.
Parlay, man?
Bon Kiki says I can have the N-word pass. That's okay. I'll take a pass on the pass. I'm not really. I'm not really comfortable with that. I'm not doing that. Not cool.
Like, I'm
Fred,
an
what's your parlay?
American, since my father's from Morocco and I'm from Canada, and I won't use the N-word, man.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. Jeremy asked a good question. What are the odds on Perry and Holland finally getting into a scrap? That'd be funny if they fought each other. Sorry, Fred, go ahead. Give me your parlay.
Well, they'll talk each other to death. That's what they'll do.
I said, sorry, Fred, give me your parlay.
Sodique,
Yeah.
Yusuf,
Yeah.
John McDessie, and Mackenzie Dern.
Ooh.
3 fights, Freddie.
3-fight parlay for Big Fred Dog. I like this parlay. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Freddie's parlay gives you Sodique Yusuf minus 145, John McDessie plus 160, Mackenzie Dern plus 115 to $10. Let's give Fred $20. Let's up the ante here. $20 gives you 188.94. Not bad.
Wow,
not too bad. It's a good parlay, right?
Man. Yeah.
And you know what I like?
We're pretty much all on the same page.
You know what? Well, not really.
Well, the Mackenzie Dern is where we're on the same page.
Yeah, we didn't take Sodique. Fred took Sodique, and I took Holland, and you took Vettori. So we're really not on the same page, except for the one pick that is going to be Dave's lock of the night. Mackenzie Dern. I don't know.
McDessie also.
We're all on McDessie, but I'm not sure if I'd put him in a parlay because that Ignacio guy could be dangerous. And McDessie's been fighting for a while, I don't know. I want him to win, but
McDessie's a beast, man.
Like I always root for him because he's a good guy, and I've talked to him, I've interviewed him a bunch of times, and I've watched him fight before he was in the UFC, and I'm a fan of the guy, but I don't know.
Actually, you want to hear?
Crazy things happen in fights.
When I was at G-Mac's gym, I went to Glenn McKenzie's gym, and he had John McDessie there. He was showing like some wrestling techniques, so I had a chance to do some wrestling with John, and Glenn was there as the owner of the school. And I'm telling you, man, John McDessie, he is strong, man. He is a little rhino. This guy is solid. So, and he's a super nice guy. He pulls it off, which I think he will. But the other guy's 11-3, man. It's going to be a tough fight, but the bull usually comes out.
Yeah.
And he comes out to win. Like, you have to kill him to he's not going to walk over.
He's super tough. He's got really good striking. He's got great kickboxing, and he's got good wrestling. So John McDessie is really dangerous, but this Ignacio guy is dangerous too. And he
has that mentality, like that never die mentality. Like you're really he's a rockhead, man. You gotta literally shoot him to keep him down. That's the thing with McDessie. Yeah. He just keeps moving forward all the time. I love him as a fighter because, as a prelim goes, it's an exciting fight.
I just see Ignacio as a little dangerous. He's 23 years old. He's 6'3". McDessie is 35. He's 35 years old and 5'8". And this Ignacio guy is coming off a front kick knockout win on the Dana White Contender Series back in November. So he's dangerous. He's dangerous and tall. McDessie could beat him, but it's not going to be easy with a guy who's 23, who's 6'3", and you're 5'8" and 35. Like, McDessie's good. He could definitely win. He is is he the favorite? Did I say? Yeah, eh? No, he's the underdog. Yeah, well, there you go. He's the underdog. So, I hope he wins, though. I could see him knocking this guy out.
Some really good fights, man.
Yeah.
On the prelim, like some interesting fighters.
Some stuff to
Hunter
watch
Azur, you got
Saturday
Jorgen De
morning.
Castro.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing like having bacon and eggs and like seeing somebody get knocked out. What more can you ask for?
I don't know.
And by the
AJ.
way, we have a curfew again here in Montreal, 8 o'clock. So what's the point? Just do everything in the day. It's never going to end this shit. I was hoping to come into studio at some point, but the dream is not happening, Dave. That dream is not happening.
It doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon. The sister kisser in chief seems to want to keep us locked down, right?
The sister kisser. Ever since you said that, every time I go on Twitter now, I see an image of him kissing his sister, and it kills me. Every time I see it, I think of you, Dave, and I'm telling you, man, you're going to have a knock on your door at some point.
Oh, yeah? I'll probably get a knock on my door
collectors.
For that tweet I put out yesterday. It was kind of rough.
What? What
you didn't see what I put out?
Another Freddy? You're going to get banned from Twitter?
Yeah, I'll probably get banned from Twitter. You want to see? I put this out yesterday.
Curious. Oh, no, are you serious? Oh, my God.
Do you see what I wrote?
No, let's see.
Dear Francois Legault, please lift the curfew so I can watch WrestleMania with my brother. I know you appreciate the love between siblings. And then, yeah, I can't imagine he'd be happy about that. Fucking guy.
Oh, my God.
AJ's dying. You okay?
Oh
all
my
right.
God! I'm gonna go retweet that because that is funny, man.
That's the guy who runs the province that we live in Quebec. Here we live in the province of Quebec, and they did we've been under curfew since what, February? How long has this curfew been going on?
I'm not sure, man. It seems like forever, man. But I'm just saying with the gyms and all that kind of stuff. Knowing that industry, we're closed again, and it seems like every time we're reopening, we're closing down again. And,
that was crazy. They opened the gyms. They opened the gyms for a week, and then they closed them down like a week later. They're like, no gyms. They're like, okay, gyms are open.
Worse,
a week later, they close them.
Even
crazy.
Worse, it's the restaurants, because they did that to the restaurants a couple of times, and every time these guys have to buy stock. And then they get closed within a couple of days, man. That's fucking bullshit, man.
It's terrible. It's terrible what's happening here. And we've been under curfew for so long, for months. I can't even remember how long it's been. This whole pandemic is like a mess. But the curfew is really, I don't know. And it was 8 when they started it. And then they moved it to 9:30. And now they moved it back to 8, even though the cases don't seem to be spiking. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on, man.
Crazy.
I don't know what's happening.
Send us some super chats so you can move to Texas.
Send us some super chats so I can move to
or Florida. Or Florida.
Honestly, I think I'm going to Nova Scotia.
Gators.
The more and more I think about it,
football.
The more and more I live in this province, the more and more I think I just want to live by the ocean in Nova Scotia and just kind of chill out. I think that's the plan.
Listen,
honestly, I think the Ringside Report Network, the main studio, the main hub of the Ringside Report Network, at some point in the next 10 to 20 years, 10 to 15 years, is going to be in Nova Scotia permanently. I think when we really kick off and we get a warehouse and a farm.
20 years, AJ's going to be
No, man. If you're going to say something like New York, no, man, you got to go where the city is. You got to get rock and roll, man.
No.
Nova Scotia. What am I going to go do there, man?
The show. Watch MMA and wrestling.
AJ's not going to survive.
I'll do what I do here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as I have a solid internet connection, it doesn't really matter. At least then I could be by the ocean, and I wouldn't have to deal with ridiculous rules and overcrowding and all sorts of stuff. I don't need all that. I'm out.
Listen, man, this curfew shit is out of control. Now I know what it feels like to be a caveman with a T-Rex outside.
Freddie and I want to escape.
Get out.
Freddie and I want to escape and live in the middle of nowhere. You know, I don't want to live near like a bunch of people.
Freddie's ready. Like,
no,
Freddie's
he's not.
like perfect to be on. Like.
Yeah. That's it.
We're in Nova
Freddie
Scotia.
and I
Who's gonna come out, man? On Yuffie.
We're cowboys, but we were born in the wrong place or something. You know what I mean? Like Freddie and I are like rednecks big time, but we just, for some reason, I don't know. We're in the wrong place,
No.
Fred. We should go to Texas or something. Man. AJ needs a city. Freddie and I think, want to live in the middle of nowhere. That's where the Ringside Report Network will be one day.
If you say Miami, if you would have said Miami,
forget
the studio in Miami, that would have been awesome.
No. If you say Maine, if you're talking Maine, I'd live in Maine. You know, like a big spread in Maine. Man? Oh, Maine is beautiful.
For what?
That type of
clam
shit I
chowder
like.
Soup?
Maine.
Clam chowder soup?
For lobster. I'd eat lobster every day. Fantastic. They have a lobster on their license plate over there. That's my type of state. I love the state of Maine. Beautiful. Where you know when Dana White vacations, you know where he goes? Fucking Maine, bro. I'm telling you. That's where you go.
You could wear your Yankee cap there, man. They'd kill you.
They're all right. They might be a little mad, though. New England and all. Shout out to New England. Shout out to Maine.
Someone wrote New York is the worst place to live in a pandemic. Other than the pandemic, man, I love New York.
I can
live in New York anytime, man. I love New York.
Love New York.
Nope.
But I don't. I think to live there, you have to be so rich. Like, you have to have so much money to live in New York. Like, anywhere near the city, it's just like, I don't know. Is it worth it? I love New York, though.
Boston?
I like Boston. Boston's
right
great.
Now, Montreal, you need a lot of fucking money to live.
That's true.
Montreal is getting up there.
Not like New York. Not like New York.
No,
right?
man, not like New York.
Are pretty high right now.
I see what people pay for, like, you know, a one-room apartment in New York, and it's crazy. You know, Chicago. I'm seeing people just shout out several towns. Chicago is great. I've been to Chicago. I love Chicago.
Nice, yeah.
Chicago's a great city.
Man, I'm not sure.
Shout out to Lou Malnati's Pizza Joint in Chicago. Some of the best pizza I ever had in my life. Oh, my God.
Really?
If you ever go to Chicago, go to Lou Malnati's. It's like Chicago deep dish. They only do it there. God damn. It's like, it's something else. It's not like pizza we have here. I don't know why nobody in Montreal has figured out how to do that, because that's some shit. Only in Chicago, I think.
What are you talking about? We have good pizza in Montreal.
Yeah, but it's different. I'm saying the Chicago deep. Have you ever been to Chicago and had the pizza there?
Yeah, well, I went. No, I didn't. I had pizza, but I didn't go to that particular place.
No,
but I went to a lot of jazz bars in
did
Chicago,
you have like Chicago
awesome.
deep dish, like the real Chicago style pizza?
Yeah, I had. It was good. Like, yes, I had.
That came in a deep pan. It comes in a pan,
really,
like deep.
Good.
It's like a casserole.
Yeah, really,
it's almost not even like a pizza. It's crazy. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
anyways,
it's good, man. But it's very. I don't know.
I like
Montreal, man. We have some great pizza joints, man. There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many.
I'm not saying pizza's bad here. I'm just saying in Chicago they have a specific kind of pizza that is pretty delicious. It's world renowned. Okay, let's talk about UFC. No, forget UFC. We're done with UFC. Let's talk about Bellator. Okay, let's talk about Machida.
Yeah, give us your Machida love. Go ahead.
I love Machida so much. I remember when he was the light heavyweight champion. It was so awesome when he knocked out Rashad Evans back at UFC 98 in 2009. It feels like just yesterday, but I guess I'm super old because I remember Rashad doing the stanky leg. And then I remember betting on Machida to beat Shogun, and then he beat Shogun in a decision that he obviously did not win. It was so obvious he didn't win the fight. They did an immediate rematch. And Machida was knocked unconscious by Shogun, and it happened right in front of my eyes because it was at the Bell Center here in Montreal, UFC 113. I'm a big Machida fan. I've seen Machida fight a lot. I saw him fight Shogun at 113. I saw him fight... I feel like I saw him fight several times after that. I saw him fight the Jake Shields. He fought Randy Couture. Jones. Right, but remember when he knocked...
Was that in Toronto?
Yeah, I saw him fight John Jones, but I also, before that, I feel like... So, Machida fought in Montreal for UFC 113 when he lost to Shogun. His next fight, he lost to Rampage. Then he came back in Toronto against Randy Couture, and I was at that fight when he front-kicked Randy Couture's tooth out, right? And then his next fight was against John Jones, and I was at that fight too because it was in Toronto. And he got choked unconscious. John Jones with a standing guillotine. And I remember watching that being like, oh, shit. And it's like, I think he's got him. And then Jones dropped it. He just went like this with his arms. And Machida just, dropped out on the mat unconscious. That was
Yeah, he looked
one
like
of
he broke
the
his neck.
craziest things
Yeah, it was
ever.
crazy.
So it was like back-to-back Machida fights in Toronto that finished incredibly. First, the Couture fight in his favor, and then the Jones fight not so much in his favor. I've seen Machida get put unconscious 2 times right in front of me. Once by Shogun with punches, and once by John Jones with a choke. So, Machida really hits me because I was at a lot of these fights, a lot of these big Machida fights. And, I love him. He had an amazing style. When he was first coming up in the UFC, I was a big fan. When he beat Sokoju, that was an awesome fight. And then he fought Tito Ortiz, and everybody was mad at Machida because he fought him very Machida style. Machida, sometimes he would knock you out with these amazing strikes, and sometimes he would just, be measured and never kind of find the spot to hit you, and it wouldn't be super exciting, and that's how the fight went. It was a decision win over Tito, and people wanted to see more, and they got more. He knocked out Thiago Silva. He knocked out Rashad Evans. He became the world champion.
Dave,
he was awesome,
Dave,
man.
What year was it? Shogun against Machida? It was what? UFC
2009.
What year was that again?
2009.
That was 2009. I was there. I was there, actually, for the
sorry.
And,
2010 in Montreal. 2009 was the first fight in Los Angeles.
So 2010, I was at the weigh-ins. Were you there?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's funny, man. We were both there. I didn't know you back then, obviously. But, I
remember
was there. In fact, I was
hanging out there. Shogun's team was there. I remember seeing Shogun hit pads. Never seen a guy throw kicks like that ever before, or really since, with that kind of power. Shogun's kicks, when Shogun was in his prime, like prime Shogun, holy shit.
But I was gonna say, were you also at the meet and greet? Because I actually went to go talk with Shogun.
No, I was media.
I was trying to. Okay,
media doesn't go to meet and greet. I was at stuff you weren't at, AJ. I was downstairs in the hotel basement watching them work out. I saw Kimbo throw punches,
cool,
and I knew that he was going to lose because it was the slowest punches I've ever seen.
But what was interesting, I was trying to converse.
No disrespect, I'm just saying what I saw.
No. But it was a different time. But I was looking at Shogun, and he was I was trying to talk with him, and we're trying to communicate with each other. It was so fucking funny. I didn't know what he was saying. He had no clue what I was saying. But I was like, "You good, man? You good?" But he was such a nice guy, and he gave me a signed autograph of him. Listen,
why you go primitive?
So I have the
can't you speak English no more with him? You good.
Listen,
no, you good.
I tell you, I went caveman on that guy. It was the only way to communicate. But the thing is that he gave me a signed picture of him, Lyoto Machida's signature, and I kept that for the longest time. But when Wally came to Montreal to come to see our show at TSN at that time, I gave Wally a gift when he went back. I gave him the show. Sorry, I gave him the Shogun autograph picture.
Okay, good story, HA.
You're a good man.
You're a good man. You're a generous man.
After both of you guys been slobbering on Machida, man, I'm going with Ryan Bader.
As well as Shogun, because I was yapping with Shogun as well. Another caveman incident. But anyways.
All right. So Machida now fighting Ryan Bader. I like Ryan Bader. I'm a big fan of Bader's too. He's been in the game for a long time. I remember when John Jones whooped that ass. Bader's a good fighter, man.
Together. But
Machida, yes,
together.
and Bader lost. He got knocked unconscious back in 2012, but that was 2012 Machida and 2012 Jesus. Bader. That's a different time. That's 9 years ago. And, Machida in 2012 was, let's see, he's 42 now. Let's see, 33. It's a big difference. 42 and 33, big difference in fighting, right?
A lot of wear and tear, man.
Bader has looked good in Bellator also.
Yeah.
Bader's been doing okay in Bellator.
He's been doing great. Bader's become a double champion in Bellator. But he is coming off a knockout loss last August to Vadim Nemkov, losing the Bellator, I think it was the heavyweight title to Vadim, right? No, that's a light heavyweight. And this is a light heavyweight tournament. There's other people fighting in this tournament on this card, right? You guys don't know.
Yeah, there's Carmouche that's fighting.
No, they're not in the tournament though. I'm talking. They're doing a light heavyweight tournament, right? Bellator.
Not on this card.
Not on this card. Next week.
No.
Vadim is fighting Phil Davis the next week on
right.
April 16th. And Anthony Johnson and Romero is May 7th.
Okay.
And on this card, you got like
I'm not sure.
But on this card, Dave, you got Carmouche versus Porto. You got Borgs versus Kennedy. You got Parker versus Zingano. And you got Moret versus Yamauchi.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty nice card, man, to watch.
Right. So this is part of the light heavyweight tournament. So is Bader still the Bellator heavyweight champion, or did he give that up? What's the deal with – because Bader was a double champ at one point, right?
Right.
I don't follow the belt.
I have in front of me that it's still Bader.
Okay. So he's still the heavyweight champ.
He's the current heavyweight.
So he lost the light heavyweight title. See, I thought it was for the heavyweight title to Nemkov. Light heavyweight title, he lost that to Nemkov, but now it's a tournament, and they're all in it again, which is kind of weird. Is that Nemkov-Davis fight a title fight or just a tournament fight? You know what I'm saying?
I hope it's for the title.
Don't know.
Be stupid.
Yeah, like why put your champion in a tournament if it's not for the belt?
I always thought in wrestling in WWE that non-title fights sucked because, like, why would you want to see a non-title fight? And in MMA, it's even worse, I would think, because I mean, if fucking Phil Davis beats Nemkov, don't tell me Nemkov's a champion.
It is a title fight. It is a title fight. So that's good. It's technically a title fight, but it's also part of the tournament, which is kind of cool that the title is part of this tournament. Also, kind of weird.
I like when Bellator does these kind of like...
yeah, but it's weird, right? Like, I don't know
like
what they're fighting
robin,
for.
Like...
Maybe money. Maybe just money. I guess, that's what we're all fighting for. Fighting for money, fighting for pride. Lyoto Machida right now is the underdog coming into this fight against Ryan Bader. Machida did knock Bader out in 2012, but Bader has been looking better than Machida has recently. Machida plus 245, the underdog. Bader minus 290, the favorite. Machida, Bader, we just told you, had been winning a bunch in Bellator, but then lost his last fight to Vadim Nemkov, and he got knocked out in that fight. But before that, he beat Fedor, he beat Matt Mitrione, he beat King Mo, he beat Phil Davis. He's beat some good guys. Bader's 37 years old, though, and has been knocked out before. Like, he was knocked out in his last fight, and Machida has knocked him out before. And Machida, people kind of are dismissing because he's coming off 2 straight losses, but if you really look at it, he's coming off 2 losses, both by split decision, both to world-class fighters in Phil Davis and Gegard Mousasi. And before that, Machida had won 4 straight. So, is Machida done? Are the odds makers right? Or does the dragon rise again? Bader's looked good in Bellator, but he's been knocked out in his last fight. Machida's knocked him out before. Machida's coming off 2 losses, but they're split decision to some really good guys. And the age difference is only 5 years. Machida's 42, Bader's 37. Bader's no spring chicken himself, right? I don't know. Why am I feeling the underdogs this week? I feel like, should I just, are we rolling the dice for old times here? Are we going with the dragon?
Dave,
I'm talking myself into it right now, boys.
Dave, don't do it. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you look at some of the bookies and some of the betting sites, I looked at like 16 different betting sites, and every one of them went with Bader for the win. There wasn't one betting site that went with Machida. So just to let you know.
You mean like the odds?
Well,
he's the favorite.
Just for the straight win.
Well, yeah,
Bader
Bader's a big favorite. You don't understand betting, do you? What's going on?
I'm just saying the bookies are all going with Bader. That's it for the win.
Yeah, I know. I just said Bader is minus. What the hell?
I'm not going with the odds. I'm going with actual humans that are saying.
I'm not going with the odds. I'm going with the bookies. What?
Well, I'm saying with
the betting
some of the
site.
humans, yeah, like that are you guys. Swear to God, sometimes.
You mean like GSP is like the Bet99
Yeah, well,
sponsored athlete,
Yes,
and
like
he would pick
GSP
Machida? Is that what you're
going
saying?
with Bader.
Machida,
No, he's
Bader.
going with
Okay,
Bader,
right. Is he?
But don't
Is
go with
he?
GSP. GSP
Did you even
hasn't
see?
come close.
GSP didn't
No,
even make
I'm
a
not.
pick. You don't know. You're making
I
that
don't
up.
need to make a pick.
Okay.
But if GSP is going to make a pick, he's probably going to go with Machida because he's been wrong quite a bit lately. And like I'll tell you one thing, we've been right quite a bit lately.
He's no Dave,
sorry,
that's for
GSP,
sure.
man.
Well, we love
yeah.
George. George is amazing.
Yeah, we love George, but George was wrong with Stipe fight.
Did he pick Stipe?
Yep.
Womp womp. It happens. George is the best, though. He can
Hey,
kick
listen,
my
man.
ass any day of the week, so God bless him.
Listen,
We love him.
I was going to say, I sent you a link. Was
Greatest
that
of all
alien
time.
thing like recent with Joe Rogan? Like he's that whole alien talk with GSP?
I know that GSP was just recently on the Joe Rogan show, and I started listening to it. I don't know. I haven't heard him talk about aliens yet. Heard him talk about some great martial arts philosophies and some great strategy from his MMA career that I feel like he's exposing some secrets to some people.
Really?
It's pretty fascinating stuff, actually, George talking to Joe Rogan. George's mind is just incredible. He really, he took fighting beyond just like training and, the physical. He really took it to a whole other level. And when you hear him talk about it, it's like, oh, okay. He's talking about like confusing the nervous system and all sorts of stuff. George is super smart, and he seems to be giving away some of his secrets. So if you're a young fighter out there and you want to learn some tricks from the greatest of all time, go listen to that Joe Rogan, George St. Pierre interview. It's been fascinating. I started listening to it yesterday, and it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Other fights on this Bellator card. Yeah, it's good stuff. Other fights on this Bellator card, you have Liz Carmouche versus Vanessa Porto. And Liz right now is the favorite, -170. Porto +150, the underdog. Liz, of course,
Makes sense.
fought Ronda Rousey in the past. She fought Valentina Shevchenko, and she's 1-0 now in Bellator. Does seem about right. Don't sleep on Vanessa Porto, though, who has won 4 straight fights. Could be an interesting fight. We also have Kat Zingano, who's going to be going over to Bellator for her second fight in the promotion. She's 1-0 after losing 4 out of 5 in the UFC. She got cut, or she moved on, or I'm not sure what happened there. She fought in 2018 in the UFC, didn't fight for a while, came back in September 2020 for Bellator, picked up a win. Kat Zingano, another person who fought Ronda Rousey, will be fighting Olivia Parker on this Bellator card tomorrow night. All right? Big shout out to Patrick C. Hamilton. He is the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you, Patrick. I hope this is the week you bet our picks and win money. I don't know whose picks you're going to bet. Will they be AJ's picks? Will they be Freddie's picks? Will they be Dave's picks? Team Dave. Okay? Don't forget, Team Dave. AJ, you're going to put the graphic up on our Instagram?
Yep.
Okay. And you're going to do the proper parlays that we showed on the screen here tonight on the show, not some parlay that you're making up, right?
Well, I'm going to make sure that you guys text me exactly what you want so there's no like misunderstandings.
I'll text you right after the show. After the show. All right, Fred?
Right,
we'll text him
and
after
you're
the
gonna
show.
verify it before it's posted and whatnot. And then
yes, we have to double and triple check
there.
your work. Yes, AJ. Go to ringsidereport.net. You will find everything that we do over at ringsidereport.net. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and when you subscribe, click the bell so you get notifications every time we are on. Johnny North and I will be on tomorrow night, 10 p.m., right after WWE SmackDown to preview WrestleMania. I am doing a lot of these shows. To preview WrestleMania coming up Friday night, 10 p.m. Whoa! Angelo. I knew it was Angelo. I knew it. I knew it. Thank you, Angelo. You are the Super Chat leader of the night. He always does it, you know? Patrick comes in. I say he's the Super Chat leader. And I'm like, somebody Super Chatted? It must be Angelo. My man Angelo, the new Super Chat leader of the night. always coming through in the clutch right at the end.
He comes in like a ninja, man.
He swoops
Angelo
in.
comes in like a ninja. He's
He is a
always
ninja.
behind. He's like block, defense, stands back, waits, and then boom.
Nails you. Thank you, Angelo. We love you. Thank you for supporting the show.
The Spartan or the Spartan kick. One of the two.
That's good stuff. So 10 p.m. tomorrow night, WrestleMania preview right here live on the channel right after SmackDown, 10 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night right here on the Ringside Report Network. Then all weekend long for your WrestleMania coverage. Saturday night, Sunday night, your WrestleMania post-show home is right here on the Ringside Report Network. Follow us at Ringside Report on Twitter and Instagram.